Tonight on CTV News at 6, on trial pleading not guilty to manslaughter in the deaths of 2 Edmonton police officers. A man in court accused of supplying the gun used to kill Constables Travis Jordan and Brett Ryan.
It is one small step to show that we are listening to Edmontonians.
City Council votes on a new infill development limit.
It's better than nothing, but marginally better than nothing.
And training hard for wildfire season in Alberta.
We always prepare to be ready for kind of anything that the season will throw at us.
More sunshine in the forecast for the next few days and a big warming trend.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. The man accused of supplying the gun that was used to kill 2 Edmonton police officers was in court today. He's on trial for several charges, including 3 counts of manslaughter. Amanda Anderson reports.
In March 2023, at this apartment building in Edmonton's Inglewood neighborhood, 2 Edmonton police officers were ambushed. 16-year-old Roman Shuchuk shot and killed Constable Travis Jordan and Constable Brett Ryan. The teen then shot and injured his mother before turning the gun on himself. Today, a trial began for the man alleged to have sold the assault-style rifle to the teen. Dennis Okimau pleaded guilty to unlawfully transferring a firearm and drug-related charges. He pleaded not guilty to 10 other charges that include manslaughter, criminal negligence causing death, and criminal negligence causing bodily harm. An Edmonton police officer investigating the firearm trafficking in this case tells CTV News manslaughter charges are rare in this situation. After opening remarks, the Crown prosecutor then read through a 71-page agreed statement of facts. The court heard Okimau and Shuchuk exchanged hundreds of messages over Snapchat beginning in August 2021. Most were about Shuchuk wanting to purchase drugs like cannabis and cocaine. Then on January 29th, 2023, about a month and a half before the shootings, Shuchuk took Okimau up on an offer to purchase a rifle and ammunition for $2,500. This photo of the rifle was shown as part of the facts. Evidence shows it was fired 11 times. 10 of the bullet casings were from the shooting at the apartment. The other was linked to the shooting of a Pizza Hut employee days earlier. The man survived, but police still don't know the motive behind that shooting. The court will hear from a firearms expert when the trial continues tomorrow. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The new fire crews responsible for protecting our province from wildfires have been training for weeks. Curtis Goodrum has more on what the recruits can expect heading into summer.
Initial attack trainees load up helicopters, ready to be sent on their final test.
Get about 2 people on nozzles. We'll have both of our hose lays. Make sure we have 2 and 3 on there.
Facing wildfires on the ground.
The terrain has been pretty tough. It's pretty dense stuff. We're going through lots of safety scenarios, lots of tactics for fire. And
each year, 150 trainees are put through 3 weeks of classroom and hands-on training, teaching them how to effectively fight wildfires.
You're learning a lot in a short period of time, and so it's really just an introduction to the job and all of the safety features and all the things we're going to want them to really know. But ultimately, they'll go out to their crews and they'll continue to train.
Despite a wet spring, snowpack in the area is gone, so crews will have to be ready for forests like this to flare up at any minute. These recruits say they're ready.
I'm excited to just get on patrols and get back to Lac La Biche and start working.
I think it's going to be a great season. Everyone seems super ready.
Alberta Wildfire says while the season in northern Alberta is off to a slower than usual start, the south of the province is much drier.
It's really too early to say what fire season is going to bring. The big determining factors for us when it comes to spring wildfires are how the snow melts and how much rain we receive.
We always prepare to be ready for kind of anything that the season will throw at us, and so we'll just have to see what happens.
Now that crews have moved through the training, they'll wait, ready to be called upon.
There's always something that comes up unexpected, but that's why we do this training.
From Hinton, Curtis Goodrum, CTV News.
Edmonton police say a man accused in a homicide from 2023 did not know the victim. 33-year-old Jordan McDonald was found injured in an apartment just south of White Ave. He died shortly after. The medical examiner says he'd been shot. Police have charged a 50-year-old man with second-degree murder. Police believe the driver of a BMW involved in a deadly crash this weekend was speeding. Police say early Sunday morning, the BMW was heading west on 41st Avenue Southwest when it lost control. It hit 2 trees and a light before stopping. The 25-year-old driver was declared dead at the scene. He was the only person in the vehicle. Police say road conditions were not a factor, but speed was. And a Southside intersection has reopened after a morning crash sent one woman to hospital. Police say around 8:30, 2 vehicles crashed at Terwilliger Drive and 23rd Avenue. One of the vehicles flipped onto its roof. EMS arrived and took one of the drivers to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say no one else was hurt. The intersection was closed until about 1 p.m. RCMP are looking for a stolen truck carrying 2 peacocks. Police say the truck was stolen yesterday in Stony Plain. The pickup had 2 crated peacocks in the back. The truck is described as a white 2005 Ford F-350 crew cab. It has aluminum bed rails and a light bar on top with a chrome bumper and amber lights on the grille. It has a BC license plate number SY7996. Police are concerned for the well-being of the animals. Edmonton City Council has voted to shrink infill projects. The change is in response to Edmontonians upset by large, often boxy builds in their neighborhoods. As Jeremy Thompson reports, some worry the compromise won't make anyone happy.
Infill is everywhere in mature neighborhoods like Glenora, single-family homes, skinny homes, and the most controversial, multiplexes.
These buildings are atrocious, quite frankly. The size of them, the height of them, the setbacks.
Edmontonians are once again showing council how the new zoning bylaw is impacting their quality of life.
This is my home and garden. Next slide. This is what you have done to it.
Last summer, council shrunk the length and width of infill, among other adjustments. Now, the new council is restricting maximum height, too, from 10.5 to 9.5 meters.
It effectively lowers the ceiling on visual impact of new builds, and I hope encourages more respectful roof lines that better aligns with other houses.
It is one small step to show that we are listening to Edmontonians.
It's better than nothing, but marginally better than nothing. We'll take what we can get.
Neighborhood groups say the zoning bylaw is still too broad, while many developers and other Edmontonians worry compromises like a height reduction dilute the city's density and affordability goals.
Making smaller boxes for people to live in is not good for the city. And we have a choice to make living that is now affordable and pleasant, or living that is affordable and unpleasant.
Mayor Andrew Knack believes shorter buildings, plus the previously approved smaller footprint, equals a meaningful response to neighborhood concerns.
This still allows for more units of housing to get built for us to retain our affordability advantage that we have across this country, and at the same time respond to what we've been hearing from residents in mature communities.
I don't think this is going to calm down the angst in neighborhoods in any way, shape, or form.
The change takes effect August 1st. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Edmonton Oilers' playoff lives are on the line after last night's overtime winner barely crossed the line.
McTavish, Paling, shoots, redirected, behind Zari, on the goal line! Crowd thinks it was in! No signal! Ducks celebrate!
Ryan Paling's shot went off Darnell Nurse's skate and into the net, giving the Ducks a 4-3 victory and a commanding 3-1 series lead. The Oilers are now one loss away from being eliminated from the opening round of the playoffs. Since 1942, 32 teams have come back to win their playoff series after trailing 3-1. The last time the Oilers successfully did that, 1998 against Colorado.
Obviously, we are disappointed to be in this situation, and we have to change our the way we're playing a little bit, make some adjustments. Anaheim this season has been a very hot and cold team, and they're playing well. They're a very good team. You look at the streaks that they've gone on. I believe that they're playing very good hockey right now, and we got to find a way how to break them.
Game 5 tomorrow night, 8 p.m. at Rogers Place. The Edmonton Humane Society is undergoing a major renovation. The nearly $2.5 million refresh of the Society's adoption gallery is now underway. After 15 years of daily use, the Society says it's time to address wear and tear while creating even safer spaces for the animals. EHS says the renovated gallery will offer a better experience for both the pets and visitors.
The
cat areas will have a bit of a refresh, so they'll just look a little more modern, and then we'll have a brand new kitten gallery. So that will be the newest thing that people will see. But I think when they tour, they'll see that there's increased opportunities to interact with the animals. The animals will be a little bit calmer, I think, in the new space as well.
The Humane Society will remain open and operational through the renovation. You can support the renovation by becoming a temporary foster home or donating through the Humane Society's website. A reminder tonight, city street sweeping is underway following last week's spring snowstorm. This morning, some drivers in West Edmonton received tickets for not moving their vehicles. That includes a driver who says he just stopped for a few minutes to drop something off at a friend's house.
Just saw that people were ticketing, and then we came out to check. It was too late for me, I guess, but they already put a ticket down, and then it's for $250. So, yeah, crazy. It's 9 a.m., so I'm pretty annoyed. So,
the city says street cleaning signs go up at the main entrances of each neighborhood when it's their turn. The city is not towing vehicles. You can find out when your area will be cleaned on the city's website. As weather outside slowly but surely warms up, it's time to prepare your yard for wildfire season. Miriam Valdez-Carletti has tips to keep your yard and trees healthy.
That dry crunch is a sign it's time to clear out your yard.
Look for any fine, small fuels that have accumulated over the winter.
Living within the city doesn't mean you're immune to wildfires. Arborist Kevin Sproul says you want to look for fuels on the ground, like dried shrubs, leaves, and pine needles, especially near the river valley.
And then the fire can grow up the tree, and the fire then will travel through the canopy of really tall trees and potentially come close to your home.
While dry, dead trees are more flammable, healthy trees also pose a risk.
Trees that are still living, they may have some dead branches in them. That would be a good idea to remove, just to remove the risk of igniting for wildfires.
The overall health of your yard can stem from the types of trees in your area. Creekside Home and Garden owner Brock Friesen says planting the same trees as your neighbors can be a bad idea.
That does create disease pressures, even if it's a variety that's not known to be. You've heard the term biodiversity. It applies in a city too.
While bits of winter are still clinging on, those small bits of snow can help your yard flourish.
The snow is actually reflecting the heat right now if there's snow left in your garden. So you don't want to shovel the snow off because that's the moisture.
Even though stubborn snow may be keeping you from your garden, that moisture likely won't last long.
Once that snow does dry off, however, we would need continued rains throughout the spring and summer just to keep down the fire risk.
Making it everyone's job to remove dead shrubs and not leave it be. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Following a weekend of wintry weather, spring seems to be back on track, including Rundle Golf Course opening for the season tomorrow at noon. The City of Edmonton says Victoria Golf Course will follow. It will open Wednesday at noon. Riverside is tentatively scheduled to open next Monday. The city is reminding golfers there will be construction at Riverside starting in June, so there will be some adjustments throughout the summer. You can book tee times online through the city. What a difference 12 hours makes, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, you almost completely forgot about the snow and the cold.
Oh, snow, what snow?
Almost. It is warming up nicely. Lots of sunshine through the day today. There's more sunshine in the forecast over the next couple of days, and it just gets warmer and warmer, at least through the next 3 to 5 days. 7 degrees, your current temperature. We hit 7.6 for a daytime high, so we'll round that up to 8 for the high today. A little cooler there at Elk Island. 4 degrees. 8 puts us 5 degrees cooler than average. We'll be back to around 13 or 14 for a high tomorrow. But today, one last day below average. And a frosty start to the day at -7. Probably drop to about -5 or -6 tomorrow morning in the Edmonton area under clear skies, which is exactly what you're looking at right now with the shot from the CTV drone. It's brought to you by Century Casinos. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, Century Mile. Nice to see the blue skies and the sunshine through the day, but with the clear skies overnight tonight, nothing to hold in the little bit of warmth that we generated today. So temperatures will drop off pretty quickly. You can see it's most of the province that's dealing with clear skies as an upper ridge builds in from the west. There's your temperatures for the next 24 hours. -2 at midnight, -5 by tomorrow morning. Light wind, sunshine right through the day tomorrow. And about 13 with light wind tomorrow afternoon. Back close to 20 by Thursday or Friday of this week. We'll take a closer look at that in just a few minutes.
Sounds great. Thank you, Josh. Still ahead, more moves to restrict social media for kids.
Kids, they would find a way around it, and I think it's worse for them to be sneaky and unmonitored with their social media.
As one province announces a ban, Albertans are paying attention. Also ahead.
What it's doing is presenting a very narrow slice of parts of the questions.
Dueling websites, an Alberta man releases his own take on the upcoming referendum questions.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Manitoba's government is the latest to say it will roll out a social media ban for children. As more governments around the world move to protect kids online, it remains unclear how effective the bans will be. As CTV's Tyler Barrow reports, parents here welcome the idea while some high school students aren't so sure.
Our kids will never be for sale, and their attention and their childhoods should never be profited from.
On Saturday, Manitoba Premier Wabakanu told a crowd of NDP supporters a social media and chatbot ban was coming. Who it would target and how it would work was not addressed. But in Calgary, it's a move Cody Provency welcomes, especially before her daughters start using social media platforms.
It's concerning. I don't want them to go on social media and get into some bad things.
While outcry grows for stricter AI regulation after the Tumbler Ridge shooter's ChatGPT account was flagged by the company but never passed on to Canadian authorities. Darren Hamlin held off on giving his children phones until they were 16, but as they missed out on communicating with their friends through social media, he eventually gave in.
There's no level playing field for parents because we have to act together in order to change things.
Alberta's government says it is watching what Manitoba is doing, but no restrictions are being considered yet.
Time is up.
Meanwhile, youth from across the country met in the nation's capital on Monday, demanding the federal government introduce and pass the online safety legislation, similar to legislation Australia made in December for kids under 16.
Time for Canada to keep pace, to pass legislation that will keep our kids safer in this digital world and hold these tech companies accountable.
Back in Calgary, some grade 12 students see the downside of social media.
Violence and a lot of body image issues come from social media.
But they don't see a ban working.
Kids, they would find a way around it, and I think it's worse for them to be sneaky.
A better solution would just be that education piece about it.
An Alberta man has created a spoof website in reaction to the one the province launched ahead of the fall referenda votes. Stephen Alaschuk started working on the website Alberta Referendum 2026.ca on Thursday and launched it at noon Friday. He says it's a public interest project to point out what he calls biased information from the province. The UCP government launched a website last week listing the 9 referenda questions that will be put to Albertans this fall. Each question is paired with background information provided by government.
First news story I saw was something along the lines of new Alberta government website aims to educate people on the referendum questions. And at that point, I was like, no, it doesn't. It's not meant to do that at all, actually. What it's doing is presenting a very narrow slice of parts of the questions.
The referendum is scheduled for October 19th. Some schools will be closed on the day of the provincial referendum. Elections Alberta says it let school divisions know of the referendum date. It says for previous elections, some schools scheduled the day off for students for organizational and safety reasons. It's requesting schools do the same for the referendum, if possible. Some Edmonton students were all business today at Argyle Centre. An annual entrepreneurial marketplace was brimming with ideas and talents. The Caraway program students from kindergarten to grade 9 have spent weeks planning, budgeting, and marketing their ideas. The program is designed to embrace creativity and financial literacy.
It's a movie theater. We sell drinks and we made our own movie. We sell iced tea, apple juice, dill pickle popcorn, buttered popcorn, and salted popcorn.
I'm doing tacos, so I really like tacos, and I just wanted to do that because it's what I'm passionate about.
Students have assigned jobs, working in shifts, earning pay, which can be used to buy stocks in each other's businesses. Still ahead, selling the gift of giving back.
Just knowing that you can go and you can help somebody.
Edmonton nonprofit organizations join forces to help potential volunteers find the right fit.
When you see that moment of connection, that spark where somebody's like, aha, this really, this is going to fit for me, it's a really good feeling.
With the clear skies outside tonight, we'll see temperatures dip a handful of degrees below zero. So one more frosty morning tomorrow. Back to double digits starting tomorrow afternoon, though. We'll look at your forecast after the break.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Many local nonprofits say they're struggling to find volunteers. As Connor Hogg reports, the Edmonton Chamber of Voluntary Organizations is hoping to change that.
In addition to the usual temptations for shoppers at West Edmonton Mall, a pop-up fair is also attempting to draw interest. Not to buy anything, to give time instead.
Once you retire, you think you're going to be so busy, but you can only do so much when you're retired. It's nice to have something else to do.
Retiree Brenda Salome is looking for a meaningful place to spend some of her free time. Finding people like her is one of the reasons the volunteer fair is at the mall in the first place. 2/3 of the organizations here are struggling to find help.
People who maybe aren't thinking about volunteerism, but they're here shopping and their interest gets piqued and they come over to see the dogs and they wonder what's going on, and then they start engaging in conversations with organizations.
Tamara Greenwood brought Cora with her to show potential volunteers what they could be in for, as well as to tell them about the rewards that are less outwardly visible.
What you don't realize as a volunteer is the impact you're making until you see where the dog goes. And then you're kind of super pumped about it, which makes you want to continue on volunteering again.
Many of the nonprofits that are gathered here say that they wouldn't be able to operate without the help of volunteers. Organizers of the fair say that they hope the sheer number of volunteer opportunities means that there's something for every interest.
You may not really know that your skills align with what somebody's looking for, or your interest aligns with what somebody's looking for.
Edmonton's mayor also giving some of his time. Andrew Knack credits volunteering with putting him on the path to politics.
When we remember that we are part of this larger group, there is this sense of ownership of needing to help make a difference. And that's what I love about it.
When you see that moment of connection, that spark where somebody's like, aha, this really, this is going to fit for me, it's a really good feeling.
Just knowing that you can go and you can help somebody and something to do, passes the time.
Salome has found that special spark, a new way she can give back and make a difference while doing it. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
A smile cookie decorating event for kids today was almost derailed by a thief with a sweet tooth.
I do believe a crime has been committed this morning. I think someone stole our cookies.
Tactical officers caught the suspect trying to escape with the cookies through the roof. Cookie Monster was apprehended without incident, and the kids got their cookies. The Edmonton Police Foundation put on today's event. It invited guests from Pregnancy Pathways, which supports children and moms who have or are experiencing homelessness.
But with us, it ends up bringing shoes for the kids, bringing them some clothes, backpacks. Christmas time, they bring presents to all the kids. There's just so many great things they do, and that's just a small part with our program. So in the whole city, there's so many people benefiting from this.
Sales from each Tim Hortons Smile Cookie will go to the Edmonton Police Foundation. The organization distributes the money to charities that it works with. All right, Josh, I would like to hear everything about this warm-up.
Well, it's going to be doubled. Oh, do you want me to start now, or you want me to go over there? Okay, well, I'll go over there. That makes more sense. There's what it looks like outside right now. Action Furnace, River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace, fixed right over, it's free. We're at 7 degrees in Edmonton right now with blue skies. And skies will stay fairly clear overnight tonight and through the next couple of days. 8 for your daytime high here. Red Deer, Slave Lake. 4s, Fort McMurray and Cold Lake. A little cooler there in Lloydminster at 3, but 10 degrees warmer at the other end of the province. Jasper got to 13 today. I think we'll get to about 13 tomorrow. Look at all the blue on the map here for April. We have had 17 cooler than average days and just 6 above average days. I think we're going to get 2 more. Tomorrow's going to be around average, 29th and 30th. Should be above average. And it looks like we'll be above average for most of the first week of May as well. The big upper level low is way off to the east of us now. That's the one that brought all the cold air and the snow for last week. That's being replaced by a nice little ridge of high pressure that's moving in, and that'll keep skies fairly clear and help to pump in some warmer air. Tomorrow, you might see a little bit of patchy precipitation just off to the north of Cold Lake tomorrow afternoon. You might see a few scattered showers through the foothills tomorrow afternoon, but in the Edmonton area, most of the province, mainly sunny skies. And it looks like we'll see a similar setup for Wednesday. Again, you get a slight chance of some showers in through western sections, but Edmonton area should see mainly sunny conditions. There's that cool upper trough that moves out. Warm air slides in the mid and upper levels. That'll get mixed down to the surface as well. So tomorrow we're into the low teens. Should be close to 20 by Thursday, Friday. There is a little bit of a dip here that takes place, though, late in the day Friday. I don't think that brings back any really significant cool down, but it probably gives us some extra cloud cover and maybe a few scattered showers Friday evening. 4 degrees right now in Fort McMurray and Cold Lake, 8 in Red Deer, it's 13 in Jasper, and 7 here in Edmonton. So a lot of spots around the province at their daytime highs currently. And the wind, for the most part, it was a little gusty in Red Deer earlier today, but for the most part, it's been light. And should be fairly light overnight tonight here in the city as well, which means with clear skies, calm conditions, and the fact we were only up to 8 degrees this afternoon, we're going to get to about -5 tomorrow morning. Outside the city, -7, -8 range. Back to around +7, though, by lunchtime tomorrow. So just as warm at noon tomorrow as it was this afternoon, and then around 13 for a daytime high tomorrow afternoon. 17 or 18 on Wednesday, highs near 20 for Thursday, Friday. There's that chance of showers Friday evening. And it looks like it'll stay nice and warm, mid to high teens right through into the weekend. Midnight Fridays, the absolute final deadline in the Mighty Millions Lottery. You can support the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation and potentially win big. It's a $2.5 million grand prize package. You get the $2.4 million home plus $100,000 cash. Go to mightymillionslottery.com. You look really long range. There's maybe a little bit of a dip Wednesday or Thursday of next week, but look at this. From Wednesday of this week through to Tuesday of next week, daytime highs in the 15 to 20 degree range, and a couple of those days could even be into the low 20s.
That is beautiful. Thank you, Josh. Still ahead, investment opportunity.
Canada's first national sovereign wealth fund.
Canadians will soon have direct buy-in on major projects. Why critics say without a balanced budget, the plan could be far-fetched. Also next.
They are inspired to commit violence because of those words. It has to stop.
The White House blaming Trump critics for a weekend shooting, calling it another assassination attempt.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Canadians will soon have a direct financial stake in the country's major nation-building projects. The Prime Minister says a new Canada Strong Fund will be an investment vehicle for the private sector and ordinary Canadians. CTV's Michael Couture has more on how it will work and where the money will come from.
Canada's first national sovereign wealth fund.
Using a Canadian Pacific Railway train as a backdrop, the Prime Minister says the new fund will allow Canadians to contribute to projects that will build the nation, like the Iron Spine did 150 years ago. The federal government will put up $25 billion and is counting on Canadians to also invest.
But we intend to provide it in a way where the investment itself, the actual amount of money, is protected. It's something consistent to buying a government bond, but has the upside, the additional return when these projects realize their potential.
Carney added the fund will operate as an independent arm's-length Crown corporation. He also compared it to Norway's wealth fund, which is worth more than $2 trillion US. But some economists warn there is a difference.
The funding model in Norway might work better because it's funded through surpluses. But here we need to make sure that we have a stable budget and get rid of those deficits before we think of injecting more money.
Pierre Poilievre points out the Liberals created the Defense Industry Bank and the Infrastructure Bank, which the Conservative leader contends have not borne fruit.
It's déjà vu all over again. Borrowing yet another $25 billion out of the economy to subsidize projects that the government still cannot figure out how to approve.
Carney says the Infrastructure Bank and other agencies do work.
All of those entities are helping underlying businesses at the core to move forward.
The Prime Minister sees this as an opportunity for ordinary Canadians to invest a little money into big Canadian projects. But with the ongoing affordability crisis, it's unclear how many people will have the means to do so. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
The White House is framing the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Gala as another attempt on the U.S. president's life. The suspect made his first appearance in court today. CTV's Joy Malbon has more on the investigation.
In that terrifying moment, the president and first lady rushed out. In the chaos and confusion, police with guns drawn, there are more questions about how a would-be assassin could have gotten this close. The suspect, California teacher 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen, who was a guest at the hotel and sprinted past a security checkpoint, shooting at an officer and then arrested.
Today, the Department of Justice filed 3 federal charges. The first count is attempted assassination of the President of the United States. The second count is interstate transportation of a firearm to commit a felony. And the third count is discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence.
Authorities are digging into Allen's past, including a lengthy manifesto he allegedly sent to his family, describing himself as a friendly federal assassin. He wrote he was enraged by the Trump administration officials and would target the highest ranking to the lowest. Pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, not mentioned by name in the manifesto, but on 60 Minutes, the president was asked about the gunman's words.
Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
You think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person.
The president praised law enforcement, but after being targeted 3 times, the White House is blaming Democrats and the media for the increase in political violence.
The deranged lies and smears against the president, his family, his supporters have led crazy people to believe crazy things, and they are inspired to commit violence because of those words. It has to stop.
The White House will review security protocols and possible lapses before future events that include another press dinner, the World Cup, and America's big birthday bash in July. Joy Malbon, CTV News, Washington.
King Charles and Queen Camilla are in the United States for the first British state visit to the U.S. in nearly 2 decades. It comes at a time of deeply strained partnership between the two countries. The royals arrived in Washington, D.C. this afternoon. On the agenda is a private tea with the Trumps, a garden party tonight, and the King's address to Congress tomorrow. The trip was meant to mark 250 years of American independence. That's been overshadowed by Britain's refusal to support Donald Trump's war in Iran. The trip also comes days after the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, raising questions about security. U.S. President Trump discussed a new Iranian peace proposal with his top national security aides today. Hundreds of ships are stuck in the Persian Gulf, unable to cross the Strait of Hormuz. 2 regional officials say Tehran offered to reopen the waterway if the U.S. lifts its blockade on Iranian ports and vessels and ends the war. The proposal also postpones discussions on Iran's nuclear program. That is unlikely to satisfy Washington, which insists nuclear issues must be dealt with from the outset. Trump has said one of the major reasons he went to war was to deny Iran the ability to develop nuclear weapons. A new report from Jewish human rights organization B'nai B'rith Canada reveals anti-Semitism across the country has reached record levels.
The sustained year-over-year increase in incidents of anti-Jewish hate make it clear that, when it comes to anti-Semitism, we have become a nation that tolerates disgraceful levels of hate.
The organization says international tension after the 2023 Hamas attacks against Israel fueled an increase in anti-Semitism in Canada. The most recent data from Statistics Canada shows hate crimes across the board have steadily increased over the past 6 years, with Jewish and Muslim communities the most targeted religious groups. A Saskatchewan towing company stepped in to help after a moose found itself trapped in some ice. Rebel Towing says a tow truck driver was headed to a call yesterday when they spotted the moose in a frozen ditch. The driver used a harness to hoist the animal out of the water and onto the flatbed, then dropped it off at a farmyard with a blanket to warm up. Still ahead, the future of farming in Alberta.
The whole world that can afford it seems to really enjoy beef.
Despite rising costs of beef and smaller herds, Alberta farmers say they're feeling optimistic. And there is a live flyover of the Rundle Park Golf Course from the CTV drone. It opens tomorrow despite the odd patch of snow, which won't last long as the weather is warming up significantly. Stay with us.
Programming brought to you by Green Tree Outdoor Living, where your dream yard becomes a reality.
Tuesday on Your Morning, severe tooth decay is the leading cause for day surgeries for children. Tips for teeth care for Oral Health Month, plus a mini bouquet you can make for Mother's Day. See you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Looking at today's market numbers, the Canadian dollar up today, trading around 73 cents U.S. Oil was up nearly $2, closing the day around $96 U.S. a barrel. Gold lost $47. On the stock market, TSX lost 85 points. The Dow Jones lost 62. Rogers Communications is reportedly offering buyouts to half of its 25,000 employees. A company spokesperson told the Globe and Mail Rogers is taking steps to adjust its cost structure to reflect the business realities of the current environment. Some business units will be ineligible for the offer, including on-air talent, Sportsnet employees, and union workers. The cost to raise cattle is going up, along with the price of beef at the grocery store. Still, Alberta's agricultural industry is feeling optimistic. China is accepting Alberta beef again, and more market access could mean lower costs at home. Tyson Fedor reports.
If you go to the grocery store and are shopping for beef, you will have noticed the soaring price, 14% in the last year, according to Statistics Canada.
The whole world that can afford it seems to really enjoy beef.
Demand remains, but it comes as livestock prices are up. What was a $1,500 cow now sees Leighton Colk selling it for more than double.
Every month we wish we would have bought more last month because it's higher. It's like it feels like runaway inflation today.
But Colk says the cost of doing business is way up, paying more for feed and for hay. Futures Market says cattle prices are up 6% in the last month, 20% compared to last year.
The cattle business is not jump in for 6 months and get out and wait till it gets better and then jump back in. You're in it for the long haul.
Calgary's business community hosted the province's ag sector Monday. Many feel there is a level of optimism within the sector that has not been felt in some time.
The fact that China has lifted its ban on Canadian beef being imported into the country, fantastic. So that really is a great opportunity for us as well. And certainly we know that we have what the world needs: food, fuel, fertilizer.
But getting beef, grains, or fertilizer to other markets, including Asia, has been difficult due to high shipping costs.
It's great to make the statement that we want to double our agricultural industry, but when our rail's already 100% utilized, how are we going to get that doubling of that to market?
Despite the optimism for some, others in the industry say global volatility has challenged the sector like never before.
Just in recent years, we endured those droughts, COVID, policy issues out east, multiple supply chain collapses, and even last year's Liberation Day. But what we've encountered over the past several weeks has impacted global agriculture like very few events in history. It could literally take years for us to regain equilibrium.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
Alberta will host the 35th annual Tri-National Accord in late September with agricultural delegates from the U.S. and Mexico. The conference aims to strengthen trade, food security, and agricultural innovation. Shell has signed a deal to acquire Canadian natural gas and oil development company ARC Resources for $22 billion. Shell CEO says the deal will complement the company's existing Canadian footprint and strengthen its resource base. The acquisition still needs approval from shareholders and courts. It will also be subject to regulatory approvals, including requirements under the Investment Canada Act. The transaction is expected to close later this year. An Edmonton man is facing charges in an organized fraud scheme that cost victims more than $1 million. Calgary police say the fraudsters pretend to be calling from the victims' bank, saying their accounts have been compromised. They often have detailed personal and financial information and manipulate victims into providing banking credentials. Victims are then told their cards will be picked up by a courier. The offenders use the cards and information to drain bank accounts. Police have charged one man from Edmonton and two men from Ottawa with fraud, money laundering, and theft. Coming up, Ukrainian dancers from across Canada showing off their moves and sharing their culture.
When I'm dancing on the stage, I feel like I'm giving all my soul to the world, to Ukraine.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV.
Hundreds of Ukrainian dancers came together this weekend to share their talents and their heritage. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti has more from the Shumka Dance Festival.
Each hop and skip for this Ukrainian dancer is a step closer to connecting to her home country.
When I'm dancing on the stage, I feel like I'm giving all my soul to the world, to Ukraine.
16-year-old Polina Savro moved to Calgary from Ukraine 4 years ago. Being on stage at the Shumka Dance Festival is a form of resistance for her and other Ukrainians.
So everybody sees our culture, everybody knows that we're here. Our dance is our dance style, and like Russia cannot copy it.
Doing events like this and promoting our culture and showing the world how strong Ukrainians are is especially important right now.
More than 1,100 dancers from 33 different schools across Canada are in Edmonton to compete in the festival, showcasing their talent, energy, and strength.
Ukrainian dance is a lot of cardio. There's a lot of athletics, a lot of big jumps and big acrobatics from guys, and a lot of fast turns and spins from the girls.
From solos, duets, and group ensembles, many of the dancers are on stage because of family tradition.
I actually started because my mother and brother were dancing when I was young, and it seemed like a really fun thing to do, so I wanted to join.
That love and talent for Ukrainian dancing won him 10 medals at the festival.
I feel very intimidated, but also very impressed and proud that I got to be here.
Beyond the medals, it's pride that puts the smiles on their faces.
I love the energy of Ukrainian dance. I love the connection to my roots and my heritage.
Tell people that we are Ukrainians. We are the strong nation.
Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Does that bring back, are you reminiscing now of your old Ukrainian dance days?
There were just a few of them, but yeah, no, every time I see Shumka, I think, I used to do that poorly.
Yeah, no, I see you in the newsroom with those high kicks. -5 tomorrow morning, frosty start to the day, sunshine at 13 tomorrow afternoon. 17 Wednesday, highs near 20 Thursday, Friday, and then a chance of some showers late in the day Friday. Temperatures will stay nice and mild, it looks like, through most of next week. Middle of next week, there might be a little bit of a dip in temperatures, but, I mean, no worse than somewhere in the 12 to 17 degree range for next week. And in the short term, it's a warm end to April and a warm start to the month of May.
We deserve that, don't we?
Yeah, after what we've been through the last week, absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, thanks, Josh. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, check out our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Have a great night, everyone.